if you don't specify the start value, range of 5 will always gives you 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, starting at 0. But if you specify the starting value, it starts at the starting value. This trips up almost everyone at first, because everyone thinks it starts at 1, but not 1, it starts at 0 if you don't specify the starting value, right? Then just like for loop, we also have here while loop. We know while loop, right? Those who have done C programming, while loop is also very easy and easy to understand, just like the for loop. Now if you look at here, uh, a while loop repeats as long as the condition stays true. Oh, sorry, as I'm in hurry, I think you have been following your file. That's why nobody asked me to share. Thank you, thank you. I forgot to share. Mm. So I hope you have gone through these things, right? So I'll reset steps one, over one, two, three, four, five. Then loop will be stopped. Then this is how you will get running totals, and then while loop. We are at now while loop. Let me, yeah. Thank you, Jacinth. Nobody is told me that I'm not sharing the screen. Thank you, Jacinth. So now, if you look at here, so here, if you see while loop repeats as long as the condition stays true. The same thing is for loop. For loop also continues until the condition is true. What condition? The I value is less than 6, right? The I value is less than 6. Here also, the for loop will repeat as long as there are elements present in this overs, right? So similarly, while block also runs as long as the condition is true, but unlike for loop, the condition we here in while loop we specify explicitly, which means here if you look at while balls is greater than 0, so we print balls left. So here this formatted output. Then just a second, give me a second, guys. Yeah. So now, uh, balls left need dash runs. So that means here, uh, uh, there are 6 balls left in the match, and runs needed is 10. So that is what we are displaying here. Then we are adding, we are subtracting for each ball that has been already thrown, then runs added. So we are reducing 2 runs. Then if runs needed is less than or equal to 0, we print chased. Otherwise, it will break. So break is a statement which actually stops the for loop without reaching the actual condition, which is balls greater than 0. So this is important thing. So now if you see here, 6 balls left needed 10. That is what in the beginning we have observed. Then 5 balls left needed 8, because we are subtracting 2 runs at a time. Then 4 balls left needed 6 runs. 3 balls left needed 4 runs. 2 balls left needed 2 runs. Then chased, and for loop was stopped. Why it was stopped without reaching to 0? Balls have not been reached 0. There are still 2 balls left. Then why it is stopped? Because we have written a break statement inside the for loop. Now here there are two types of indentations here. Two indentations present in this for loop. One is, I don't know, today this is not working. I'm struggling to access it. It um, just give me a second, guys. Okay. Okay, it's not working. No issue. So now if you look at here, we have if and this one indentation, that means this print and break comes under if, and this if along with these three lines and print balls runs all will comes under while loop. So when it got encountered break, the entire while loop will be stopped. Okay, so if you forget to change the condition variable here, balls left, that is here balls left equal to balls left minus 1, the loop never stops. If a call seems frozen, you probably wrote an endless while loop. Okay, so this is one thing that you need to be careful in while loops. While loops sometimes may go into infinite loops. Okay, now next thing is functions. So we have defined block and we have functions in C programming. And what is a function? A function is a named block of code. We can call from anywhere, right? We can call from anywhere. So here in Python also a function packages code under a name. So you can reuse it, define with def, and we can send arguments and get a value back with return statement, just like in C programming. So now if you look at here, def is the keyword and run underscore rate is the name of the function, and runs comma hours in parenthesis are called arguments, and then colon, just like if condition, just like for loop, just like while loop, colon is the starting of the indentation. Colon is the starting of indentation, and it is same for if condition, for loop, and while loop, even for functions. So all will carry similar kind of syntax. And here, if you observe, the return statement under this function run is under one line of indentation, just like uh, just like for loop and while loop. Here for functions also, we don't use braces like C++ Java. The indentation itself will define the block. So once you give one empty line or two empty lines, automatically, for example, this hash, call it as many times as you like, will not be coming under this run rate function. Similarly, this print, and this print will not be coming under this function run rate, because we have given one empty space. And after that, these, if you look at the indentation, is starting of the line. That means like def. That means these lines are not coming under function def. Okay, so as soon as a Python hits return, the function ends and hands back the value to whoever called it. Any lines after it inside the function are skipped. Return is not the same as print. One gives a value back to your program, the other just shows the text or whatever the value you have given to print onto the monitor. Okay, for example, if you click on run, you can run along with me. So print run rate is like this. You are passing 180, and 180 is going to be stored in runs, 20 is going to be stored in hours. So 180 divided by 20 is 9, run rate is 9. Then for this, run rate is 95 runs and 10 hours. So 95 by 10, so 9.5 run rate. Then this is a formatted print statement, run rate 176, That means because of this one, this function will be called. I'll just simply show this in Python visualizer so that you will understand how the function call will be passed from one level to the another level. So is my screen visible? So I'm clicking on visualize. So unsupported name def, because we have selected C, we need to select Python. Thank you, Kiran. Visualize. So though the control starting at line number one, it does not execute the code present at line number one and two, because that is the definition of the function. The definition of the function will be get executed when we made a call to that function, right? So that's why the control has been immediately jumped to line number five. So now, because of the statement present inside print, which is a function call statement, control will now go back from line number 5 to line number 1, and it will execute. And while going to the line number 1 from line number 5, it carries the values that we are sending as parameters. So we are sending parameters from run rate, which is present at line number 5, and those parameters will be stored in arguments which are present at line number 1 called runs and overs, and that returns the actual value to print. So print will finally get the return value is 9, that will be carried or replaced by this entire run rate 180 20 will be replaced by the return value of 9, right? Then now we are calling, now it came back to line number 6 and we got the output 9, then 6, and now we are at line number 6, and at line number 6 same 95 will be passed to runs, 10 will be passed to overs, and 95 by 10 is 9.5, that will be returned, and that will be replaced by this run rate, and finally you are getting print of 9.5 that is going to be displayed on the monitor. So see, the output is 9.5, and I've just kept a formatted thing to make you understand how it works even with formatted thing, because we have already discussed formatted before, formatted print statement, no need to stress much here. So I hope this is clear how functions will be getting executed in Python. And usually there are some confusion in the beginners of the Python, like parameters and return values. Functions can take several inputs and make a decision inside. So the function here result here, if you look at def preceded with the name, hence you can simply think of it as a function, right? A function is simply a name preceded with a def keyword, definition keyword. So here, if you look at result is receiving two parameters, and we call them as arguments here. So scored comma target. If scored is greater than target, return 1. If scored equal to target, return tie, else lost. So verdict equal to result of 165 comma 180. So 165 is stored in scored, 180 will be stored in target. So if scored is greater than target, no. Is scored equal to target, no. As these two conditions are failed, so automatically you come to the else part and it will be lost. So the first one is lost, and the second one, if you look at here, print of result of 200 comma 199, 200 is greater than 199, so you got second output as won. So here variables created inside a function live only inside it. That means here scored, target are inside result. So they are not available to outside. So scored above does not exist outside result. That means scored and target are not available outside the function definition. That's a feature. Function don't accidentally clobber your other variables or disturb your other variables. So this is a feature that scopes the variables inside a function. Okay. Now let's it's your turn right now. So can you all run this code by filling your lines? Okay. So grade the score. Write if elif else that given runs, prints country for 100 plus, century for 100 plus, 50 for 50 to 99, else keep going, test with 120, 60, and 30. This is how the real questions in the competitive exams like TCS, NQT, and other things will be given. So, see, the question is seems very tricky, but if you read it slowly, it is very easy. So, please run it and give me the output. Write if, elif, else that given runs. That means you have taken runs, print century for 100 plus, 50 for any value between 50 to 99, else keep going. That means three conditions. That means here I am asking for if, elif, else coding only. So this is very easy challenge. How many of you are doing it? We have 43 members. Okay. So without wasting much time, I'll show the solution. So here, if you look at runs equal to 120, the syntax is runs is greater than or equal to 100. Though I could be able to type this symbol greater than or equal to, you could not do that on your laptop. You have to type greater than first and then equal to. Here also same. If you run it, you will get century because the value is 120. But what question asked? It is also asking us to test with 60. For 60, what you should get 50, because whatever that is you scored between 50 to 99 is 60 runs only. Then 30. So for that, you will get keep going. So this is how. Thank you, Kaushik. Then 45, 67, 12, 8, and add them up and print total and average for 2 decimal points. We have seen how to display only 2 decimal points, right? We have seen 0.2f, right? Don't use sum, do it hand to practice loops. Okay. That means don't, we can use some function and you can display scores dot sum. That means here, as we discussed before in Python, you will have handy functions which gives the values very are things you don't need to do it on your own, right? So now it is saying that list attribute has no method called sum, right? But there are some other methods. I'll give you hint for that later. As of now, what you need to do is you need to go over through all these elements and you have to display. Thank you, Shirin. Uh, uh, you have to display the total value. Use a for loop and add them up and print total and average. And while displaying average, you have to display only 2 decimal points. And don't use sum. Do it by hand. That means to practice. Yeah, Kaushik, total equal to 0 for S in scores, total plus very good, very good, nice. Average 0.2 F, correct, exact answer. So now here, if you look at, this is the program that I've been asked to write. Scores equal to 45, the actual value. These are the two things that we don't need to change. Now we are writing a for loop. For S in scores, total equal to total plus S. That's it. This will done the everything, whole job, total. So once you have got total, then next thing is what you can do. You can do two things. Total equal to total plus S, that is already gives you total. To get average, total divided by the number of elements present in this list. We have discussed before, this list has length function, length of scores, len. And this len, thank you Shirin, Murali, thank you Murali. So this len will give you the length of or the number of elements present in this list, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will not give you 4, it will give you 5. So finally, this is formatted print statement, then average colon, then average colon 0.2f. This is what is telling, thank you Jayant, what is telling us that our Python that display only 2 decimal points after. See now why I have got this average equal to average 0.25. Can anybody tell me what is the mistake I did here? I've done some mistake, right? Yeah, total equal to 242. Thank you, Murali. So this is how you write programs. You need to understand how things will work in. You will understand these and you will write these with hands-on only. You can't learn them through uh, reading or listening to classes. Okay. Now, challenge 3. Write a function. So we have looked at first challenge is simply a if condition, second one loop, third one function. So challenge 3 is write a function best of a comma b that returns the larger of two scores, then loop over 12 comma 90 120 comma 98. And if you look at here, I kept in parenthesis. We'll talk about these things later. In the later means now only. After this, 45 comma 67, 88 comma 88, and print the winner of each. Don't use built-in max function like some. So without wasting time. So what we are doing is here in uh, the values that have been given us, I kept in pairs. Like in square brackets, I kept 120 comma 98 in parenthesis, 45 comma 67 in parenthesis, 88 comma 88 in parenthesis. Now whatever that is present in the parenthesis will become pair. So 120 98 is a pair, 45 67 is a pair, 88 comma 88 is a pair. Now in for loops you can go through pairs as well. That is the intention of using this example. Now if you look at for a comma b in pairs, that means in pairs we have this one element, this as one element, and this as another element. So now for a comma b, you know what you will get? You will get 120 comma 98. 120 goes into a, 98 goes into b. So here in print statement formatted output, so f a in braces means 120 versus 98 arrow best of, best is, then we are calling the method best of, that means this method. And while calling that method, what we are passing a comma b. Now in this for loop what we are passing 120 comma 98. You will understand this very easily through this visualization. Now see here, best of, that means see here, best of is uh, pointing to a function. So a function will not be get executed until it is called. So now pairs, now see here, a list has pairs 0. 0 is having again two elements 120, 98. A list has having one. One is having again one more sub component which is having 45, 67. 2 is having 88 comma 88. But if you observe one keen thing here, which we are going to discuss in the next immediate data structures concept, this is a list. And if you look at here, what is this? Can anybody tell me what you are seeing here and what you are seeing here? Tuple or tuple. People will pronounce it differently. Tuple or tuple. I pronounce it as tuple. I don't know whether it is correct or not. I'll look into Google later and I'll see pronunciation. I think like this every time, but I'll forget. Anyhow, so now if you look at here, whatever you keep in brackets, square brackets, we should not pronounce it as square brackets. Brackets by means square only. So if you keep something in brackets, that will become array or a list. If you keep anything in parentheses, that will become a tuple. Thank you, Jayant. Thank you, Kaushik. So now, what is this pairs? Now here pairs is a list of tuples. What is pairs is now here? Pairs is a list which contained tuples in it. Okay. So now, surprisingly, this for loop is unwrapping tuple and getting the tuple values into individual variables. Now see, when I say for a comma b in pairs, what for loop is doing? For loop is taking this 0 and going into this tuple 120 and unwrapping it and storing 120 in A and 98 in B. You will see that if I click next, right? See here, previously I'll go to previous. There is no A comma B here in the global frames or frames. See here, this part. Is it clear? So now whenever I clicked immediately next, so A got 120, B got 98. That means this pairs is a list and this pairs is giving me one tuple 120 comma 98, but that 120 comma 98 is a tuple, but that was unwrapped, unpacked. The proper Python terminology is unpacking. Packing, unpacking. If tuple packs things into one entity, for loop with this kind of notation unpacks them. So A comma B gets 128, and I don't need to explain much here. This is a formatted string. Now see, now 128, 98 will be passed as a condition. Sorry guys. So here, this because of this best of A comma B, the control has been passed to this block. Now this will run and then you got the output 120 versus 98, best is 120. Then similarly it will repeat for 45 comma 67. Now see, A got 45, B got 67, and now that has been passed to a function. Now if you look at the A comma B of best of is different, A comma B of global frame is different. A comma B of best of our local variables and A comma B of global frame or total Python is different. Then return value is 67. So best of is 67. Then 88. Okay. So this is how we use for loops, tuples, lists, and functions in a one code. So what you smashed today: conditions, loops, while loops, functions, and scope. Variables inside a function stay inside it. They are not available outside. Okay. So with this, we'll stop here. Thank you, Spandana. Thank you, Jayant, and thank you, Kaushik, for active participation. Now, you all people open day three thing, day three HTML page. I'm in little hurry uh, because we are in slow mode. So data structures. Okay, we have laid some foundation already. So now we'll work on it slowly. Okay. So previously we discussed actually guys, if it is okay, I'll try one more time. If it works, fine. No, not. Guys, I'll do one thing. I'll restart my PC and rejoin in 2-3 minutes. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please post them in the chat. Sir, I'm joining back in 2 minutes. Likit, if you're there, please manage it. I'll be joining back in 2 minutes. I'm restarting my computer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, sorry, I have restarted because of the pen issue. So, uh, if you have any questions or doubts, you can raise now, and then we'll continue with our data structures concept. You all open please this, and then you can click on start Python engine. Okay. So once you see this, it will be easy. So what is data structures? Data structures is data structure is a self-contained set of values which allows certain operations to be performed on it, right? Like we have seen a data type, right? Data type specifies three things like how much memory, what kind of data we can store, and what operations we can perform. But what is data structure? Is there any relationship between data type and data structure, or both are different? Data structure is altogether a different. Data structure will allow you to organize data, will allow you to organize data. And the very good analogy that I'll always use to make make students understand data structures is how we will organize clothing in our real life. Like for example, when you are in home, how do you organize clothing? You organize clothing in a birwa or shelf. But when you are traveling to a different state, you will carry a large briefcase. But you are going for a 1 day trip, one night. Maybe you will go with a backpack. That means backpack is one type of data structure. A large briefcase is one type of data structure. A birwa in your home is one type of data structure. But all three are organizing clothing only. But we use different data structure at different requirements. Here also, thank you, Ramya. Today, actually, I got a call from ma'am. So, to speed up things, so I'm in a hurry to make up things. Just give me a second, guys. Thank you, Ramya, for reminding me. So, is my screen visible now? Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Spandana, and thank you, Jayant. Now, if you look at here, so data type and data structures. Data structures is for organizing data. So when we have a single value, that is fine. But what if you have large set of values? Like, but real cricket data comes in bunches. Like today, list tuples, dictionaries, and sets. We actually started already have used lists and tuples without formally discussing much about it because we have already laid a foundation regarding them. So now, along with list and tuples, we also look at dictionaries and sets, the four major data structures of Python, and they are being everywhere. So you can think of these as containers. Like for example, as I have used this clothing managing cloth organization example, what is Birwa? It's a container. What is a shelf? It is a container. What is large briefcase? A container. What is a backpack? It is a container. So list is a container. Tuple is a container. Dictionary is a container. Sets is a container. But which one do you use? That depends on your use case. So which data structures you use depends on your use case. Okay. So let's warm up like in cricket. So have you all downloaded this one and started using it? Say yes. Yeah. Thank you, Spandana. Uh, so now, if you look at here, I think if I keep my screen, I will know whether I am sharing or not. Now it is good. So a quick loop from day two to get the engine running, because this is actually a recap of what we have learned already. Then we will develop from single value to collections. Now if you look at here and run, everyone click on run. So now here for I in range of 1 to 4, what are the values that this range function will generate? Can anybody quickly tell me? It generates 1 comma 2 comma 3. So previously I was like handicapped without pen. Now I'm happy. Restarted my laptop and it started working. So 1 2 3. So 4 is not included. So now innings and then I is what we are going through. That means range has given a list of values, and this for loop is going over each value and it is displaying 1 2 3, right? So this is what the for loops are and how they will work. Let's move on. So what is list? A list is ordered collection. Okay, what is list? Ordered collection. As I already told you in the previous topic, a list holds many values in order, and when you heard or hear the word list, you always imagine brackets. When you heard tuples, always imagine parentheses, right? This is you need to by heart or you need to keep in your mind. Okay, a list holds many values in order in square brackets, especially reach items by position. Like in arrays that you have studied in your C programming, list organizes elements in indexing. Like for example here in scores, 45 is at index 0, 67 at index 1, 12 is at 2, 3 and then 4. This we have already used in our previous example. Then if you use indexing like scores of 0, you will get for the list whatever the value that is at index 0, you will get it, that is 45. And if you use -1 in the index place instead of 4, that is like last value. That means if I use scores of -1, you will get 30. You will get 30. Thank you, Spandana. And when you use scores, which is a list, and in that a starting and ending value separated with colon, that means you are asking between the index 1 and index 3, and remember always 3 is not included, 1 2. That means this slice index, slice means how do we slice bread? Like that we'll slice list from index 1 to index 2, because 3 is not included. So index 1 is 67, index 2 is 12. So this 1 3 will give you output the values 67 comma 12, right? Then print length of scores. This will gives you how many elements that are present in the list, like how many elements, 1 2 3 4 5. This gives you 5, not 4, because length will give you the actual number of elements present in the list. And everybody click on run. Everybody click on run. If you click on run, you will get the output, and then we are good to go. Now, the first item is scores of 0. Whatever I've explained, I've kept here, not scores of 1. The first element, that means indexing, whether it is C programming or Java or Python, whatever the language, indexing is always from 0. Always from 0. Remember this by heart it if you required. And the fifth, the last element can be accessed like with the indexing value scores of 4 or the same thing can be accessed with the negative indexing scores of -1. Okay, asking for 5 will give you an indexing error. Can you all try it? Can you try one thing that is scores of 5? Here you can press enter and you can start typing print of scores of 5 and then close parenthesis, run. So we got 45, 30, 67, 12, 5. We got previous lines got executed, but the last line we got error. What is the error? Index error. List index out of range. List index out of range. As I have already told you, you need to read out loud the errors, the error message. Then only you will learn programming language, right? So let's move on. Then what in real world happens in the cricket, we'll get lot of values getting added to our scoreboard. Not only one player, not only two players, we'll have so many players, data getting increased. So we need to group data into multiple things, right? So to have that kind of grouping, and sometimes we need to summarize, like who batted first and how much he scored, who batted second, how much he scored, like that. Okay, so here we use list which are mutable. You can add to them and you can handy build it in summaries them instantly. That means here lists are mutable. Remember this keyword mutable. If you have not already, remember this keyword mutable. So I'll make you understand what is mutable here. Scores equal to 45, 67, 12. This is a list. This is very clear and no confusion at all. Then if I say scores dot append of 88, then what happens is function 88 here after 12 there will be 88, and then that means now the list has been grown from 3 elements to 4 elements. Like that we can add as many elements as possible to the list. Okay, so then here, as I have done before, max of scores, min of scores, sum of scores. Previously we used for loop, right? Now we don't need to use for loop. Thank you, Shireen. We can use the predefined functions available with the lists. List is providing a function called max. List is providing a function called min. List is providing function called sum. We don't need to write our own function. That's why the data types of Python are objects. They are coming with built-in functions. So max of scores, min of scores. Thank you, Spandana. And sum of scores. Okay. So this will automatically generate some maximum, minimum, everything. You don't need to write for loops. Previously for sum, we have written for loop, but now by using sum method, we are able to perform sum without making use of any for loops, right? So this is about uh, how we can add elements to the existing list and how you can perform summaries regarding it. Now, quickly, I'll use Python visualizer and then I'll show you how it grows because this concept is important. Now see here, scores is a list and which has only 3 elements right now, but here if you see how many elements, 3 elements are there. And what is the indexing? 0 1 2, 0 1 2. The indexing is 0 1 2. Now if you append is a method, append is a method or a function available to list. Max is a method, min is a method, sum is a method. Okay, method by mean function, we discussed it right before. Now if you click on next, what happens? Append of 8. Now see scores, which is having previously 3 elements, now having 4 elements. Previously indexing from 0 to 2, now indexing from 0 to 3. That means list is mutable. List is mutable. Mutable means it is like you have already constructed a home, but if you could add one more bedroom to the existing room, existing home, then we say home is mutable. But really that happens in the real world. You have already constructed a building. Can you add suddenly one additional room adjacent to it, not on top of it? It's not possible, right? So in the real world, homes are immutable. Immutable. We can't add. But lists are mutable. We can add. And these are straightforward. It performs directly based on the values. So you'll get total values. Is it clear till now? If it is clear, please just give me a thumbs up or yes. Thank you guys for active participation. Kaushik, thank you. Now, important thing is aliasing. This is one concept that many beginners get confused. So have you heard about aliasing before? Usually when we used to be children, we used to hear this word alias in the newspapers. Kantikiran alias Dr. KK. That means alias by mean same person having two different names. Okay. So here also we have an aliasing concept in Python. What is that aliasing and how we will make use of that? We'll understand it with very clearly, and how that is related to our what we say mutability and immutability, right? So remember, in day one, a variable is a name that points to a value, not a box, right? A variable is a name given to a memory location. With lists, this has a surprising consequence. Toggle the two modes below here. I kept two modes here. This is mode 1, mode 2. You have with you this page. You can play with it. Toggle the two modes below. Then press append 99 to A and watch what happens to B. Right. So basically here, what I am doing, I'll explain. So first we have A. Right. This is A. And then A is now assigned to B. A is assigned to B. We do that right in the programming. B equal to A. That means whatever the value that is present in A will be stored in B. Right? So for example, here B equal to A will be actually B is an alias of A. So aliasing two names, one list. Remember, A is a list. Think of A is a list which contained some elements 50, 80, 95. Okay. So now A and B both are pointing to this list, and list objects are 50, 80, 95. A comma B. So when we say B equal to A, both names point to the same object. Okay. And when I say A dot append of 99, here after 95, what happens? 99 will be added. And now if you look at B, B is also pointing to same object. So whatever the changes you are making to A will be by default will be affected to B as well. That means changes what B sees to, because it is an alias. Both are pointing to same memory. Let's do that. So now 99 has been added. So A and B both are seeing 50, 80, 95, 99. Though I have called here A dot append of 99, A dot append of 99. B is also getting affected. B is also getting affected because A and B both are pointing to same memory location. That means one memory location having two names is called aliasing. So here two names, one list, or two names, one memory location is called as aliasing. Is this concept clear? Is this concept clear? Yeah, thank you, Shirin. Now, if you click on the second toggle, B equal to A dot copy. So here, copy is a function that is provided by default by list. Here, what is happening here is B equal to A dot copy. You are now saying that take whatever the values that are present in A and create a different list and name that list as B. I'm repeating, with B equal to A dot copy. What you are telling to Python, take whatever the contents of A and make one more copy of that A and name that as B. That's why here, because of this statement, you got A and you got B and two different lists. Now, if you append to A, that is not going to affect B. B is untouched. B is untouched. This is a very, very important concept when you are building big projects, right? People see now what happened, 99 has been appended to A, but it is not been appended to B. A is different, B is different, right? So now here, let's prove that with a real code. A equal to 50, 80, 95. Then B equal to A. That means B points to the same list. That means same memory location, same objects. Now being pointed by two names, A as well as B. And A dot append of 99. That means 99 will be added because of this line. Then print A. If you print A, 50, 80, 95, 99 will be displayed. Then if you print B, you will get same output two times. And then let's have C, one more list, 50, 80, 95, same contents, but different name. Now, D equal to C dot copy, then C dot append of 99 and print C, you will get 50, 80, 95, sorry, 95, then 99. But if you display D, you will get 50, 89, 95 only. Please check yourself by running, by clicking on run, you will understand it. So if you want to see it visually, let's go to our favorite tool and copy paste here. And now if you look at A is 50, 80, 95 and B, see both A and B are pointing to same list. Both are pointing to same list. This is the beauty of aliasing. This is the magic. This is the logic, right? Now, if I click on next, print A, what you got? Because A and B both are pointing to same list. If you display A, you will get the same output. If you display B, you will get the same output. Sharon, thank you. C is a different now. C is a different object with same values. It doesn't change. Though you have used same values, it will not point to same object. That's what why that is the reason I have chosen same values differently, because you people think that 50, 80, 95 means C is also pointing to same list present here. That is this one. Many people think that it may be like this, but wrong. Though it has same values, you are creating a new different object. This is important. And then d equal to c dot copy. That means d equal to c is aliasing. D equal to c dot copy is creating a different object. These two are different. So if you wanted to same copy in a different memory location, you have to use copy, right? That is the point of the point that drives home for this concept. Next. Then see, when we say d equal to c dot copy, a new object has been created. Then print c, then print d. This is the outcome. Is this concept clear? Then the most useful and most frequently used concept in Python is dictionaries. Is it clear? If you have any questions, please ask. Oh, number is reducing 49 to 32, and by 12 o'clock it will become 25. But even one student present will continue up to 12:30. Yeah. So is everything clear till now? Shall we move on to dictionaries? Thank you, Kaushik. Yeah, Spandana is already in zone. She's doing good. Kaushik as well. Thank you, guys. So now, if you look at dictionaries, for dictionaries, you will always remember these symbols. For list, these. For tuples, these. For dictionaries, these. So you have to keep them in mind only. So instead of remembering positions, you look things up by meaningful labels. In list, what happens? You will access the elements through position, like indexing 0, 1, 2, 3, like that. Right? So here 0, 1, 2, 3. But instead of using indexing, you can use names also. You can give this index a name like first, or this one another name second, like that. If you want to do such kind of naming, we go for dictionaries. We go for dictionaries. So instead of remembering positions, we look up things by a meaningful label or a name. So for example here, player equal to name on the left side, colon, and the right side the actual name. The left side one you call it as a label, and the right side one you call it as a value. Okay, or in some terminology we call it as a key, and we call it as a value. Key value pairs, label value pairs. Okay, so if you look at here, keys are different. One key is name, or one label is name. Another label is team, or key is team. Another label or name or key is runs. And values are also changing. For key name, the value is Virat Kohli. For key team, the value is RCB. For key runs, the value is 973. Okay. So print of player of name, player of runs, player of matches. But if you see, while defining dictionary, you are using braces, but while you are accessing values of a key, values of a key are in order to access value through key, we use brackets like a list, like a list. Okay. So player of bracket name, this will give you Virat Kohli. It will search for the key name and the corresponding value will be fetched and given to you. Then player of runs equal to 100, which means this will be replaced by 100, or sorry, 1000. Then player of matches. Here, matches is not there in this dictionary player, so it will create matches and add 16. And when you print player, you will get Virat Kohli, then RCB, then 973, then you will see matches 16. I request you all to run this and see yourself. Okay. So in order to understand it better, I'll make use of this visualizer. So now the dictionary is getting defined. See, this is dictionary. Now, if you look at here, what it is showing, it is saying dict. It is a shortcut for dictionary. And now print player of name. So because for player of name, it search for keys whenever key matches and it brings out its value, and that value will be given or replaced by print player of name. So Virat Kohli will be the output that comes onto monitor. So just click on next. See Virat Kohli. Then player of runs equal to 1000. What happens here with this statement is it goes to player dictionary first and it searches for runs key here. It founds here. And then when we say equal to 1000, then its value will be replaced by 1000. That means 973 will be replaced by 1000. That's what we are going to see. If I click next, see, runs have been changed to 1000. Then matches is not at all present here in the dictionary. So as the key is not present in the dictionary, then what this Python will do, it will add a new key called matches, and for value, it will add 16. Right? That means now the dictionary has been grown to 4 keys, which have been previously is 3. That means even dictionary is also mutable like a list. Excuse me. See, matches have been added, and when you display player, it displays with a pure dictionary syntax with key value pairs, right? Sorry, we'll make use of it again. So I'll keep it. So is this clear? Then here we can create a dictionary like this: titles equal to CSK5, MI5, RCB0, KKR3, and then we can access through, or we can iterate through a dictionary using for loop. And just like the way we have seen before, tuples are getting unpacked, right? Tuples are getting unpacked and stored in the variables a comma b, we have seen, right? So That is the way we also access here. See here for team comma wins in titles dot items. This is important. Titles is a dictionary here, and title dot items is a method. Items is a method, and items will gives you the tuple like CSK5, MI5, RCB0, KKR3 like that. So CSK will be stored in team, 5 will be stored in wins. That is for first iteration. And next iteration, MI will store in team, 5 will be stored in wins. For next iteration, RCB will be stored in team, 0 will be stored in wins, like that. Okay, so just like the way we have unpacked tuples, we can also unpack dictionaries, and we can store them in individual variables, and we can display them. And if you run it, you will get the same output. CSK has own 5 titles because that's what we have written here in the formatted dictionary. Thank you, Spandana. Good. So looking up a key that doesn't exist will give you a key error, right? So player dot get of age to safely get none instead of crash. Like if you give something that is not existed here already, then it will throw an error. Okay. If you try to add which is not existed, it will add. If you try to add if it is already existed, the previous value will be get replaced. Okay, let's look at this unpacking visually and then we'll move on. Yeah, thank you, Jyoti. Very good for follow along and doing hands-on along with me, and Spandana and Kaushik, Shireen. Very few people are interactive and doing things. CSK, MI, RCB, this is the dictionary. And then see for team, in the first iteration, what you got CSK comma 5. And that is what we are displaying onto the monitor. CSK has won 5 titles. Then MI, then RCB, then KKR. I've just taken random numbers, guys. If you are fans of any of these teams, don't mind. I've just taken random numbers and I've used these names to get your attention. I don't know anything about anything about this cricket and especially IPL. Nothing. I've stopped watching cricket from 2016, I think, when India lost match against Bangladesh. That is my last cricket match. That on that day I decided to not to watch cricket anymore because always cricket matches comes in the middle of the exams. Many of my exams got affected because of cricket matches in my BTech and in my intermediate time. Okay, so just thank you, Kiran. Right? Yeah, just to make you laugh, I just told you this, and it is true only. Yeah, thank you. Now let's move on. Tuples and sets. We have seen tuples already. But how does this tuples and sets makes things different in the Python, right? So a tuple is like a list of immutable elements. You can think of tuple as also a list, but immutable. What is meant by mutable and immutable? We are saying from the previous list is mutable, dictionary is mutable. That means we can add new elements to the existing list. Okay, here for tuple that is not possible. That will show you clearly. A tuple is a list but immutable. A tuple is like a list. I'm not saying is a list. A tuple is like a list but immutable. Round brackets, and we can't change anything. A set holds only unique items in no order. Okay, then tuple and sets are two different things. Sets, tuples can have duplicate values, sets cannot. So we'll see all of them now. Now, if you look at here, match CSK, comma, MI, and some date. Yeah, Shirin. Mutable can accommodate changes in the data types, but immutable data types cannot accommodate any changes. Correct. Exact, right, perfect definition. So here in matches, if you look at here, match is a tuple because here we have parenthesis, not brackets. And like list, tuples can have different types of data, like it is a string and it is a string, everything is in double quotations. Then when you display print of match of 0 versus match of 1, you will see the output CSK versus MI. And teams played is a list. If you see here, it is a list. Why it is a list? Because we have square brackets here: CSK, MI, CSK, RCB, MI, CSK, like that. And unique teams is a variable. That means unique teams is a just a name. And for in that, what I'm storing, I'm taking a method called set, and for that method I'm giving a list called teams underscore played. So teams underscore played is a list and which has duplicates. CSK is present 3 times, MI is present 2 times, RCB is present 1 time. So list has duplicates, and when you give that list to a set method, it will remove duplicates and creates a set and stores it in a variable called unique underscore teams. And this unique underscore teams now is a set, is a set. And when you print unique underscore teams, you will get CSK, MI, and RCB only, no duplicates at all. And print distinct teams, length of unique teams, you will get 3 only. Just like len function that we have applied on a list, we can apply on a set as well. Okay, see CSK versus MI, this is the first output you got. Then CSK, MI, RCB, because this is what we have displayed. And distinct teams 3 only. Okay, and if you try to add just like before, we now, for example, teams underscore played equal to, is there any teams like Andhra Pradesh AP team, like that? Let's imagine. Can we add like this directly, or should we have to use append method? Okay, so teams dot append of, let's say, AP, the, and then print teams underscore played. See, AP has been added, appended, right? But for tuples, that is not possible. Okay, if you give like match, match, match dot append of something like anything, you can give some text. See, attribute error, tuple objects has no attribute called append because we can't add, right? So list when order matters and get changes. If you want ordering in the same order you want to maintain, go for list. Tuple for a fixed record. If you don't want to change, once you keep the data, that should not be changed, like your bank account number. Then use tuple. Dictionary to look up by label. or some key set to track unique things. So next we'll use pandas to do all these things. Okay, now it's your turn. Do it on your page. Then we move on to pandas and build what we have learned based on these things. So how many of you are doing? Yeah. So now if you look at here, so hours equal to 12, 8, 15, 22, 6, 19. Print the total, the highest over, and how many hours there were. So we can use for loops, but we don't need to use for loops anymore. We can use predefined functions available with that. So for that, we are using sum, max, and length. And you can run it. Then build a player dictionary, name, team, runs, wickets. Then print one F string sentence using three of the values. Finally, add a new key to catches. Key the catches, right? So thank you, Spandana. And now, if you how do you create a dictionary? By using this syntax: a dictionary name equal to, then open brace, closed brace, and in between that you will have key value pairs. Okay, so if you go to solution, name, team, runs, wickets, and finally I asked you to display one f string. Thank you, Jyoti. And then number of catches, I asked you to fill that with 9 or any value, and print player. So you'll get like this. So, and final challenge is count wins with a dictionary. So given results as a list, this is very important. You all try on your own. The winner of each match. Build a dictionary of team num which contains number of wins by looping through this. The then print the number of wins. For example, CSK 1, 2, 3. That means CSK won 3 times, MI 2, RCB 1. That means we have a list of who won the matches, but now I am asking you to create a dictionary which contains all these details. So for that, I've written a for loop for team in results. So this is the results, and wins of team equal to wins dot get of team comma 0 plus 1. That what actually this get method will do is get method will take team CSK and goes to results. Okay, wins dot get of team. That means I'll show you this with the visualizer so that you will understand it very easily. So results is a list that is very clear, right? CSK, MI, CSK, RCB, MI, CSK, all are members of the list. Then wins is a dictionary. See, and how do we create an empty dictionary? Just with open closed brace only. See, an empty dictionary. Then for team in results, that means here we are going through each element of the list. So for team, what is first value? CSK, and we are taking that CSK and we are adding that CSK to a dictionary wins. So how do we do that? If wins dot get of team. That means, is CSK already present in the wins dictionary? No, because wins dictionary is empty. Then when we are searching for an element that is not present in the dictionary, then what we are doing is we are adding that value to dictionary and adding +1 to that one. So you will see that here. See, team is CSK. Then wins of team is wins, which is a dictionary, contains CSK? No. So wins dot get of team will give you 0 if it does not contain team, right? So CSK, as it is not present in the team, it gives you 0. So 0 plus 1, that means we are saying that now wins of team, that is wins of CSK, equal to 1. Then next time also, if CSK comes, what happens? CSK, it is already there. So what this get of team will return? This get of team will return whatever the value that is already present in the dictionary, which is 1. If team is not present, it will return 0. If team is already present in the dictionary, it will return its corresponding value. That is the logic that you need to understand. Get of team comma 0. Get of team comma 0 will return 0 if team is not present in the dictionary. If team is already present in the dictionary, it will return the corresponding value of that particular team. Okay, you will understand that very clearly in the next iteration. Now see, now what is the team value now? Mi. What is the team value? Mi. Is Mi present in the wins dictionary? No. So what does this get of team comma 0 will do? As mi is not present in the wins dictionary, it will return 0. 0 plus, then we are adding 1. So it will become 1. So then what we are doing? Wins dot get of team. That means this has written 0, and for that we are adding 1. So this has become 1. Finally, this whole line become 1. So what we are doing with that? We are going to wins dictionary and adding team value. What is team value right now? Mi. And for that, what is the value we are keeping? 1. Right? So if I click 1, next, if I click next, that is what is going to happen. See, mi equal to 1. Then this is important. You need to understand. Now, next team is CSK. If I click next, the team that we are accessing is CSK. Third one, right? CSK. We are now at third place. CSK. So now CSK win dot get of CSK. This is how it will be changed. So this will be wins dot get of team value. What is team value? CSK comma 0 plus 1. So is wins contained CSK? Yes, already it contains CSK. Then what it will give? This function, this part will give me the corresponding value of CSK, which is 1. And for that, what we are doing? We are adding 1. So now this whole value became 2. That means this whole value became now 2. and this two is going to be stored in wins dictionary. How it will be stored? Wins of team. What is team value? CSK. That means in wins of CSK, whatever that is the value is there, 1, that will be replaced by 2 now. How many of you get this point? Give a thumbs up. If I click next now, the CSK value will become 2. Okay. Did you get my point? Spandana, Shirin, Jyoti, Ramya, Jayant, Kiran, Kaushik. Yeah, thank you, Spandana and Shirin, for responding. Now, what will be next point? If you click next, you will be accessing RCB. Is RCB present in the Wins dictionary? Is Wins dictionary containing? Yeah, thank you, Jyoti. So is Wins dictionary containing RCB? The team value? No. Then wins dot get of team comma 0. Wins dot get of team. What is team value? RCB comma 0 plus 1. So is RCB present in the dictionary? No. Then what is this get will do? It will return 0. This value 0. What happened? 0. Then this becomes 0. Then we are adding plus 1. So this whole thing is now became 1. Then after that, what we are doing? Wins of team. So here we are adding RCB and RCB, and for that we are adding 1. Okay. Now, if you click on next, RCB 1. Then what is the next value? MI. So is MI present in the wins dictionary? Yes. Then what will happen? So wins dot get of team. If get of team, that means get of MI. As MI is already present in the dictionary, it will fetch that value. It will not return 0. What this get method will do? Get method will fetch the corresponding value of the key if key is already present. If not, it will return 0. So as here mi value is already present in the dictionary, so it will return 1. That means this part will return 1. And now for 1 we are adding 1. So now it has become 2. Now this whole value become now this whole value will has become now 2. And where this 2 will be where this 2 getting stored? Wins of team. What is wins of team? What is team value? Mi. So it will go to mi and change its value to 2. Okay. So if I click on next now, what will happen? Mi value will become 2. See, then the final value CSK. CSK is now the team. Now win dot get of CSK. CSK is already present, so it will return 2. And for that we are adding 1. Total it has become 3. That means the total value became 3 now. Then wins of team, which is CSK, now become 3. And now if you click on next, CSK become 3. And if you print, this is the output. Okay, so this is how dictionaries will be used in the real world projects to summarize data, to perform data analysis. Okay, so This is one of the most important concept that we have covered today. Okay, that's why I have taken my own time, even though madam said to sir said to finish or speed up things. I've spent enough time here on how dictionaries will be get accessed. Okay, and how dictionaries will be filled up, how dictionaries will be made up with summarized data, with data analytical data. Okay, given a list, now we have produced a dictionary. Okay, this is what real projects will be done. Okay, so what we have learned, we have learned that lists are ordered, mutable, and indexing always starts from 0. We can do slicing through colon, and we can do appending, length, sum, max, min. And we have looked at aliasing, which is b equal to a, shares one list, copy creates a separate list. Dictionaries are called key value pairs, using which we can perform lookup, we can update, add, loop through each dictionary by a method called items. That is what we did here, right? We did here with the items. Here, items. Okay. Then tuples, fixed immutable records, sets, unique items, no order, choosing the right container for the job. Like as I told you in the beginning, when you are going for a 1 month trip, you carry a large briefcase. You will not take your birua along with you to the tour. But if you are going for 1 night trip, you may go with backpack. That means you have to choose the right container based on the job at hand. Okay. So next, Python for data analysis. The tool that our library that we are going to use is pandas. And for this, we are going to use an IPL data set. Till now, we have used only the data that we have created. But we can download data sets and have integrated that into our page. You don't need to download anything. You can just open day 4. We have 15 more minutes. We lay the foundation, and then we'll move on to we'll close by exactly 12:30. I won't take your time more than what I've been given. So please open day 4, everyone. So data analysis, Python for data analysis. So if you have opened this notebook or this HTML page, please give a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you, Kaushik. What about others? Please be fast. You are young, dynamic. You have a lot to achieve. Thank you, Spandana. Thank you, Shirin. And let me see how many participants. 22. Okay, no issue. Even one student present will continue. Thank you, Jyoti. Thank you, Kiran. Kiran, do you watch IPL every day? That means whenever it happens. Thank you, Jayant. But do you continue after my story? Because it doesn't make sense to me. Like, mm, of course, in your age, I watched like crazy. Is there anyone who could not understand Telugu? For 1 minute, I'll tell you some kind of sollu in Telugu, like to engage you, to get your attention, because we are at the end. You may get bored or things get tough. లైక్ ఎగ్జామ్స్ అప్పుడే కరెక్ట్గా రేపు ఎగ్జామ్ ఉండేది, ఈరోజు మ్యాచ్ ఉండేది, ఏదో ఒక మ్యాచ్ ఉండేది. సో ఎలా ఉండేదంటే, అప్పుడు మేము హాస్టల్లో ఉండేవాళ్ళం. కామన్గా ఒక రూమ్ ఉండేది, అందులో టీవీ ఉండేది. సో ఆ టీవీలో క్రికెట్ మ్యాచెస్ వచ్చేవి. సో ఎలా మా హాస్టల్ నుంచి రూమ్ కి కొంచెం దూరమే. ఇట్స్ బిగ్ హాస్టల్, 4-5 ఫ్లోర్స్ ఇన్ హైదరాబాద్. దెన్ ఎలా ఉండేదంటే రేపు ఎగ్జామ్, ఈరోజు చదవాలి. ఓకే, ఒక 2 బాల్స్ చూసి వచ్చేద్దాం అని ఫస్ట్ ఆ టీవీ రూమ్ లోకి వెళ్ళండి. 2 బాల్స్ అవ్వగానే ఓకే లెట్స్ ఫినిష్ దిస్ ఓవర్, ఈ ఓవర్ అయిపోగానే వెళ్ళి చదువుకుందాం అనుకునేవాడిని. ఆ ఓవర్ అయిపోయిన వెంటనే ఓకే బాగా ఆడుతున్నారు, ఈ ఇంకొక 1 అవర్ చూసి వెళ్ళిపోయి చదువుకో. ఇలాగ మ్యాచ్ అయిపోయేది, టైం అయిపోయేది, నైట్ 9-10 అయ్యేది. ఇక నైట్ అంతా నైట్ అవుట్ చేసి తెల్లారి 5 గంటలకు 6 గంటల వరకు చదివి ఇక అప్పుడు ఎగ్జామ్కి వెళ్ళాల్సి వచ్చేది అనమాట. సో సో అందుకని దెన్ ఐ డిసైడెడ్ ఓకే ఐ డోంట్ వాంట్ టు వేస్ట్ దట్ మచ్ టైమ్ అండ్ సాక్రిఫైస్ ఫర్ సంబడి ఎల్స్ అని డిసైడ్ అయ్యి ఆ, ఎప్పుడైతే బంగ్లాదేశ్తో ఓడిపోయారో అప్పుడు ఐ డిసైడెడ్ నాట్ టు కంటిన్యూ ఎనీ మోర్. సో దట్స్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ స్టోరీ. 1 minute I took. Let's go forward with the data analysis. So now if you look at till now we have done our coding on training wheels. Like as a kids we'll have training wheels for our bicycles, right? But we now load an IPL data set which contained 252 matches that are already happened. That means there will be 252 rows and answer actual question with pandas at the total data analyst uses every day. That means the tool the data analysts use every day is pandas. Pandas uh, is like a tester for an electrician, right? How tester will be useful for electrician? So it's very useful, right? If you say my fan is working or my light is not working, he will immediately pick his tester and test with whether power is coming or not. Similarly, if you have given a data set to a data analyst, he will immediately use his first tool, which is called pandas. So what is pandas? A Python library. And as sir told me, as many of you didn't have laptops or desktops, so I've embedded the data set itself to this big HTML page. So you don't need to install, download, or do anything. So one bigger load today. So start data toolkit. So loading Python plus pandas one time. Downloading pandas, it downloads and it also prepares the IPL data set. I have kept everything in this HTML page. I've created specifically for our class only. I didn't use these artifacts before. So I felt very happy after this creating these. These are very nice. No need to ask anybody to install, do anything. They just can learn and do things in this HTML pages itself. So from this time onwards, I'll make use of these artifacts to teach Python. And also, I have worried at the day one that we wasted a lot of time on the fundamentals. Then after the class, I created some more artifacts which explains how system works. Like, see, one program, many machines. We discussed about Windows operating system, Mac, Linux, and how dependency will be carried out and how things work. I've actually explained through my own drawing. So that created a lot of confusion among students. So for that as well, I've created artifacts. From next time onwards, I'll save a lot of time here as well because these artifacts will help me a lot. Then computer versus interpreter. This I've already shown it to you. This one I created. Then how code really runs. This also I've shown it to you. Then where variables will be stored. This I have explained with my own drawings that created a confusion to you, but now we have an artifact. Then inside the machine, how CPU accesses each thing. That means the kind of time waste happened in the day one will never going to happen again. So what happens when how the computer wakes up, like when we switch on computer, This is so like this. We have had now this one, day 4. Okay, so press here the start data toolkit. I have already pressed. Today it downloads pandas 2. So the first load it takes a bit longer, like because pandas is about 30 MB. It takes approximately 15 to 20 seconds on a decent Wi-Fi, and even mobile data set. Do it once at the start. After that, it's caches and instant. That means it caches. It's in the browser. The IPL data set is built right into this page, so things nothing to download separately. So there is nothing to download separately. And about the data, this is clean, illustrative IPL style dataset created for learning. This dataset I have created with 252 matches, seasons 2019 to 2024. The columns are the dataset contains ID, season, city, venue, team 1, team 2, toss winner, toss decision, winner, win by runs, win by wickets, player of the match. This is the content that the data set that I have created has present. Then a data frame is a data structure of data set pandas. That means you have an Excel sheet. How do you load that Excel sheet? Or you have a CSV file, comma separated value file. How do you load that into Python? For that, we use data frame. Imagine data frame as a table. Imagine data frame as a table. What does the table contains? Table contains columns and rows, right? Like this. So in our data set, we have ID, then season, then city, then venue, like that. So for one match, you will have all these things, team 1, team 2, and who won toss in that match. And after winning the toss, whether they choose to bat or bowl, then who is the winner of that match. Then if winner won by runs, then how many runs? If the winner won by wickets, how many wickets? Then player of the match. These are the details I kept in the data set. So each row will be one match details. Like that, how many rows we have? 252 rows. Okay. And basically, once you have installed pandas, you will use this statement. This is analogous to hash include stdio.h in C programming. Hash include stdio.h. Here, what we are including is, or what we are importing is pandas. And once you have imported pandas into your code or into your Python, you are shortcutting that with PD. So next time onwards, instead of naming or instead of using pandas, you say the PD. That is, PD is an alias to pandas. Same name. Instead of you writing the big name pandas, we use two characters PD, right? And PD, which is a pandas library, is providing one function called read underscore CSV. And what it will do is it will read a CSV file. What is CSV? CSV is nothing but comma separated values, comma separated values. And you can open this comma separated values file in Excel, or you can open in a notepad as well. And this pd.read underscore CSV, IPL underscore matches dot CSV is the file that I have created and embedded in this HTML page with 252 rows and these many columns. And that file will be loaded, and df.head means this will be stored in a data frame. That means read underscore CSV, read underscore CSV is a method present in the pandas data frame which returns data frame. Read underscore CSV is a method present in pandas which returns a data frame, and that data frame is going to be stored in a variable called df. I have used the name df. You can use kf or kk or sk, whatever you wanted to name it. And that data frame also has some method, and if you use head, it will display the first 5 rows. If you use tail, it will display the last 5 rows of that data set. Okay, let's run this and then we'll look at the output. See, the first 5 rows, because this has these many columns, it displayed in multiple pages, right? So 0 is the first ID. So 2019 season, Jaipur city, and venue Savai Mansingh Stadium. Team 1 Rajasthan Royals, Team 2 Gujarat Titans. Toss winner Rajasthan Royals. What they decided to bat. And who is the winner of that match? Gujarat Titans. So how many runs they won by? 67. Okay, because they chose. That's why won by wickets is 0. And who is the player of the match? I don't know his name. Places, like that. So this is the data set that we use tomorrow, and we also going to do tomorrow a mini project. For that we use 2 files, capstone starters and data analysis 2. Okay, so these are the 2 things we are going to do tomorrow after the completion of this day 4. Okay, so tomorrow also we'll start exactly at 10:30 and we'll finish exactly at 12:30. Now it is 12:29. I'm finishing, and today we are done. And thank you. And how many of you are there? 21. So it's a good number for me. Thank you, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow at 10:30 exactly. So thank you, sir. We are done for today. Thank you, Kiran. Bye. Thank you, Jayant. So Sam, sir, we are done. Likit, we are done for today.
Okay, sir. Krantikran, it was, I think it was a full session today.
Yes, sir.
We are able to go cover 2 hours complete without any break.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So thank you all the participants. Only 16 remaining, and tomorrow is the last day for Dr. Krantikran. And as usual, try to please mark your attendance by end of today, and tomorrow let us connect by 10:30 and try to wrap up the Python session by tomorrow. Right. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.